the skin texture is different. So of course there's that difference. And then too, it's kind of different having a relationship with a white person because it's unique. It's unique in our country. So
Are you dating a white person now?
Yeah,
You are.
I am.
How old is he?
I would say he is something like 10 years older than me.
In this video, we will ask Ugandans what they think about white people. Like always, make sure to like and share the video. And if you want more content like this, be sure to subscribe. Alright, so what's your name?
I'm called Gambarombo Emmanuel, but my friends call me Gamba Emma.
And what is your experience with white people in Uganda?
From a tour guide's perspective, since I am one, I've dealt with a lot of white people, but generally they are not bad people. They are good, they are down to earth, and they love Africans so much. I think because they hear a lot of stories about African people. We are so welcoming, and there is a lot of things to see when you come to Africa. So they enjoy being with us. But for me, I haven't had any problem with them. They are good, you know. They like to tip, they like to spend money, and they are too humane because there are some people who are the biggest donors to African countries. So generally, white people are not bad. They are good people.
I don't think anything about them. I think they are good people. I don't do that thing of racism, so I think we're all one people.
White people, I know they are ambitious people, and they are people who would be true to someone if they are being true to them. They are people who are straightforward, like we are working tomorrow at 10, it should be 10.
Let's dig a little bit deeper and find out what are the differences between white cultures and the Ugandan culture. What would you say is the difference between white culture and Ugandan culture?
White culture.
Oh, well, first, what countries do these white people come from?
Most of these people come from Germany. The ones I've dealt with, most of them are German. Then I've dealt with some whites from the US, then UK. Yes.
And what is the difference in culture between them and Ugandan people?
Yeah, so I'll generalize them as whites. Yeah. So whites, their culture is so modern. I don't know whether they even have like those cultural beliefs like from back then, because here in Uganda or Africa, we have our own cultural beliefs and the way we do things, from the way our ancestors used to do those things. That could come probably from those days before civilization came to Africa, colonial days and all that, to now. For us in Uganda, we still believe in our cultures, and we still practice culture. Yeah. But for whites, you realize that everything of theirs is so modern and is so different from us. So I think that bridges a gap between their culture and ours.
Like the Ugandan culture is a bit behind, like people are relaxed. Yeah, some like they want to do stuff at their pace. Only if there is an external pressure that is instant, then that's when they will change.
They can do certain things, but we can do certain things in public. The way they carry themselves is different from the way we carry ourselves.
Okay, so what types of things do they do in public that Ugandans don't do in public?
For example, pecking, kissing.
Yet the white people, there are people who will create their own pressure. Like someone will create pressure which is not even there to see that they do something. So it makes a very, very big difference in those two people in our cultures, it will affect how they do their things, how they progress, how they develop. So like you find that the white people, they are more developed because of that element, is that someone can say that this plane is good, but I can create something much better than this. So that makes them very different.
But you can find out that the culture with the whites, maybe it's about the changes in the climate. Maybe in summer seasons they can put on mini skirts, they can put on patches, of which here in Uganda it's quite awkward. A person to put on that is termed to be a non-serious person.
So, let's talk more about dating. Alright, so who am I speaking with?
Are you speaking to Martha? I'm a Ugandan girl from the northern part of Uganda, which is called Jumbe, and I'm a Nubian.
Now, I heard a rumor that white people like very dark skinned women. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah. Mostly the dark and the tall, slim.
Do you fit into that category?
Sure. Yes, I do.
So, how did you come to find out that that's what they like?
I think I've had so many of them approach to me, and then it's been a common thing in Uganda here. Like most of the white people you see, like in relationships with the Ugandans, are the same people like me. So they're slim, dark, and tall.
Okay, now have you ever dated one of them before?
Yes, I have.
Now, would you ever date a white person?
White person, dating a white person. Well, I don't think I would. Dating them, I would date, but I don't know whether I would marry them. But yeah, I would date. You can never know, because I would love to have beautiful offsprings, who are half breed, have the mixture and see how they look. Because you look at them and you feel like wow, but I think keeping it home is best.
It's very, very different, and I would say I would prefer pushing out with a white guy to a black person because I've ever been with both, and I can compare the two. One thing about the white people is that when they love, they're true. Like they're true. You can feel it when someone loves you, and they're caring. They're always there. They listen. So there's a very, very, very big difference between the white people and the black people. And I would say the Ugandans. I wouldn't talk for the other countries, but typically Ugandan.
Why would you want a mixed race child?
Mixed race. I think it's because I've seen a lot of them and they look so so cute. They look so beautiful. They look so handsome. Not because ours don't look, but I would love to also have it. Who am I not to have it? Yeah, I'm also human, so yeah, I also look at something and I like it, and I would like to have Hakedu is mixed too. Yeah.
And more so they like blacks. I know they really like blacks. They're good people. If you find one, yeah, I can marry one.
The skin texture is different. So of course there's that difference.
Would you date a white person?
Yeah, I would. for some reasons, and for some I wouldn't.
Why?
Because now I'm a man who has grown up in a very different culture. I think coming to terms, it will be it will be a hassle. But of course, I know if I find someone and, love at first sight. Yeah, if I found someone and I get that, I just decide and I cut off my culture when she's also willing to cut off some of the things that I can't accept. And then we go together. So it's not something that I would say no or yes. It will be depending on the situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're given a lot of attention. Yes. That's one thing I can say is like they're given a lot of attention, be it the difference with the colors. Yeah.
So most of the girls are going for them or what?
Sure.
Really?
Sure.
Now, is that because of money or what?
I would say on the biggest percentage it would be yes.
Okay.
And then two, it's kind of different having a relationship with a white person because it's unique. It's unique in our country. So.
Are you dating a white person now?
Yeah.
You are?
I am.
How old is he?
I would say he is something like 10 years older than me.
Do you ever date a white person?
Yeah, I would. I would definitely.
Why?
Because we are all like the same people. So if I'm vibing with him and he is vibing with me, so why not?
Okay, now I noticed with a lot of these relationships, there's a big age gap. Why do you think that is?
On me, right?
Oh, just in general, because it's not only you, right? It's something you see a lot.
I would say they understand. There's that trust. Like if you're older than me and I'm a lady, I'll know I'll have you, which is so different with young men. I know like I'm the only person you would see. Like the attention will all be on me since I'm younger than you get. So that's why I'll be like I want to go for a person who's a bit older than me because at that time you've already seen everything and I feel so comfortable enough. Like I have you and you have me. So that's why I think.
Now, you've dated several white guys, right?
Yeah.
So why aren't you married yet?
I feel like I'm not ready. And at times, most of the white men I've actually been in relationships with come in Uganda, like with jobs or like having contracts. And at times when the contracts are done, like there is that thing. I actually don't want to travel to a different country since I prefer being in my country. So at times we actually end up having that as a problem.
Would you say that these are serious relationships or just like they're in a new country and they're looking for fun?
By the way, at times it's serious, but there's some things we actually don't agree on that actually lead to that. But then there are those are like I actually know that we have like this is a period of time you have and I want to utilize that period of time. So if it's having time, like a good time, I have to know that sooner or later we're going to part ways. Yeah, so there are those.
So, how are white people treated in Uganda? Now, how are white people treated in Uganda?
Still like they are still superior. Like in the way we were taught and brought up, like our minds were brainwashed. That's what I would say. Like we see a white person as someone superior. Like of course not me, but still in me there is that element that I was taught from childhood, like that superiority.
They are always welcome and people have to treat them very well because it's usually for one reason, because we know we are going to get money from them because they have the money, they are rich, and we welcome them because we know they've come to spend.
When they are in Uganda, they are treated so nicely. Like a white person will just wave to anyone would wave to him, bye muzungu. I know if someone has been to Uganda before, he's familiar with that word, by muzungu.
They treat them well. They give them the respect they deserve because they have the money. Sometimes they even respect them more than we the locals. You understand? Yes. You'll go to a hotel and the white is respected over you. Even if you had the money to spend, they will overlook you just because of their skin color and all that. You know, that one just give them the superiority. I think over us, something like that, because a fellow black will treat you bad for a white.
Oh, okay. The white people are treated very good in Uganda because the white people are really treated well in Uganda when they come. Because what I love most about them, they respect people. The whites really respect people when they come in Uganda.
When we were kids, we just ran after them, by muzungu, by muzungu.
So where did that thing of the kids running behind white people come
Yeah,
from? Because
that's-
I've seen it so much
Yeah,
on TV.
so that's it. That's
So even at that young age,
so from then even when you grow, you still see them with that same perspective.
but where did it come from? Are you guys just born like that?
No, we see them as people who have, like when we are young, we see them as people with the gifts that our parents are not giving us. We see them as someone who will give you something just out of love and someone like that, you see?
Okay.
So you relate him with good things and what. It's when you grow up and you know that this and this and this was for this.
Decades of Western charity efforts have given Ugandans a very idealistic image of white people. But let's ask them about some more controversial topics. Now, have you ever experienced any type of racism from white people?
Here in Uganda,
Yeah.
personally, I've never. All of them are always good, and they treat me well. And the ones I've seen even treating other people, it's always good. Apart from the ones who are bosses in certain offices, they will treat their employees a little bit bad, you know. But sometimes you take it the normal way because he's your boss or she's your boss and she wants you to work. Yeah, so sometimes she might treat you badly because still the fact doesn't come off that you're inferior to them. So they have the power to treat you badly.
Is one thing I've heard, like most of the white men who come to Uganda at times change when they go to their countries. You know, when you're in your country, you be like, yes, I'm in my country, you know, you feel the safe, like be safe. But when you move to different countries which are not yours, you meet new things, and at times most of the men change when they're in their countries. So
Racism, let me tell you something. In Uganda, we laugh about everything. So we don't take stuff serious. But when I see what happens in the American culture, it's like it's something very, very serious. Like, remember in Uganda, we have many tribes. We laugh about what this tribe does, and they laugh about what we do. But if it was in America, then that would be tribalism, right? So I think racism in America is so serious. Like, I've seen people getting killed. I've seen like whites discriminating against blacks, which is like so serious. Yeah. And I think I would feel so bad if someone was to say that I can't do this because I'm this.
Some places where you realize that people don't like them. There are some places, usually, like for example, during my tours, I usually face some challenges with the local people. In certain places, we go most in the downtown area. There are some youth who don't really believe whites are good people.
Okay, some time back we heard about racism and such kind of stuff, but with time it faded out. I don't know whether it's really true because I've never been there before. Yeah, I've never been to America before, but I think because what you are inside, it of course reflects with time. So what I think the good heart they're showing us, I think it can be the vice versa in America when we go there. I know it can't be that much, but I think at the best it can be good.
As always, thanks for watching. And if you want more content like this, be sure to subscribe.